Here to introduce our first guest is my American Medicine Today co-host, Ethan Euchre.
Thanks, Kimberly. Losing a limb is devastating to anyone, let alone a child. But being able to change that young life by giving them a superhero-themed prosthetic arm is remarkable.
Well, we're here with Albert Monero. He is the founder and director of Limbitless Solutions. So thank you for having us here in your laboratory.
Well, thanks for coming by.
Can you give us sort of some of the background on Limbitless, how you founded it, and what the sort of directive was when you first started it?
So I was driving in the car and I was late for work a morning about a year and a half ago, and I heard an interview on the radio on NPR that talked about with the original founder of the first 3D printed hand. His name's Ivan Owen, and he was reporting from his garage with them about how he developed the first very crude 3D printed hands. And I was so amazed by what he was doing. I came into my research lab, because I do research at the university in aerospace. I told everyone I could about it. I said, I so want to be a part of this, and I've always wanted to use engineering outside of the laboratory and have that kind of tangible impact. And so we contacted Ivan and his colleagues, and we started doing just kind of preliminary work, computer design. And 6 months later, we got a phone call and an email from a mom local, Alex Pring's mom, Allison. And she said, okay, can you build an arm for my son? And he doesn't have even an elbow. And so the previous versions all worked kind of when you would bend your wrists, it would kind of just replace the fingers. And so we had to divert from what had been done by the other groups. And I rallied the team around the project. And 8 weeks later, Alex got his first arm.
And Alex is the famous Iron Man kid, right?
Yes.
The video that viewers probably remember went viral, I think last year, right? Or earlier this year.
With Robert Downey.
With Robert Downey Jr. coming in character. That leads me to another question of, you guys must have a heck of a PR team to be able to just say, oh, you like Iron Man? Well, we'll get him to come in character and give you your arm. How did that come about?
So there was actually a team called Possible, and they were doing the collective project with Microsoft here, and they were like, we need to get somebody else to help you out with this, and we did some filming with Robert Downey Jr. Let me call him up and see if he wants to do it, and so that's actually how it happened.
Now, how many people are involved in building these arms?
So we have about 50 student volunteers right now. Everyone is a volunteer at Limbitless as part of our nonprofit.
How do you balance the life of a student and people with jobs and things like that with doing this great work that you do with disabled kids?
The first year, all of our deliveries coincided with school breaks. So every semester we would finish finals, and then we would rush to finish an arm and deliver it to a kid. So there was a delicate balance of studies and bionics.
And what is the sort of the weight limit on some of these? I mean, how strong are they actually?
Maybe 130 ounce inches, of pull.
I'm not an engineering student. But
So when you have the kids shake your hand, you're always surprised at how strong their grip is.
Yeah.
So it's a very good grip for the 6 to 12-year-old age range. We're not crushing, aluminum, or we're not
Soda can.
See, I would want mine to be like that. I would want to just
like
Hulk
Hulk
smash, just like that. What I think is really cool about what you do is you use 3D printers right here with, I think you were saying, parts from Office Depot or something like that. Sort of detail what the difference is in cost for the families of these children. Should they, say, buy an actual prosthetic versus what you guys make and what the cost difference is?
Currently, there's a huge cost difference. Ours is able to open and close the hand just like a lot of regular prosthetics nowadays, and those range from $20,000 to $40,000, and so right now
that much?
Yes, it's pretty high. It's not cheap, and ours only in material cost is like $350 or below, so it's definitely below $500 at the moment.
And so we started out with something at the very beginning, the very first arm. This was the first arm that Alex wore. And with obviously the compartment open, there were like 3 batteries. The electronics were very large, and it weighed more, and it's definitely functional, but not necessarily artistic. And so in the last year, we've been able to take engineering functionality and blend it with art and what we call STEAM, which is STEM plus art. So teaching kids about how science and art are not mutually exclusive has transformed some of these kids' perspective on what science can do. And so we very quickly kind of iterated, and it's such a difference from pure function to blending this form as well.
When you got into doing the prosthetics, why did you want to focus on children?
So for us, it was really clear this is kind of the direction we need to go. But I was amazed, and I didn't know at the time until it started flooding my email inbox, how many children around the world are in need.
Are you sacrificing quality for the price, or are they very similar in functionality?
So what we found out is that children love peanut butter more than caviar. And so we tried to find out what would work best for them first. Because if you use a device like this at a young age, you're more likely to be able to want the device that the insurance companies would provide when they're 18 and they're finished their growth spurts. And so that's a big component of this, is that we've been able to reduce it down. We also brought in kind of our engineering expertise, and so I built remote controlled aircraft. These are parts that are from remote controlled aircraft. Having 3D printing allows for rapid prototyping. You can change out things overnight, and that cuts the cost. If you had to pay someone to handcraft this from wood or from aluminum, you'd be paying for all that material, you'd be paying for all that machining time, and so we were able to lower costs there while not reducing quality. One additional note would be is that these are not FDA approved. We're currently in some discussions with representatives from the FDA and how they're going to regulate 3D printed bionics. And so we're definitely working the bionic solutions field. When you have motors with prosthetics, it gets a little bit more difficult. And we're looking for that route of how to get this into the hands of medical clinicians. And we're working with Nemours and Florida Hospital right now, and hoping that they are always guiding us in what we do and learning from their expertise, and they can learn from some of the engineering expertise too. And we really see that as the direction of the future of these devices.
How long do you stay with them through the growth process? If they're young when it happens and you fit them, do you continue to help them
as they
grow? Yeah.
So that is our goal. So that's one of the things we're trying to stay sustainable for, so we can actually, grow with the children. So, I don't know how often you changed your shoes when you were a kid, but I changed my shoes like every 6 months. So what we plan on doing is, after 6 months, we reevaluate, see if they need something bigger, something needs to change a little bit, and so we'll take that, replace it, and it's 3D printed as well. So actually, changing the part's not all that difficult.
How many kids do you have currently that you've helped with these arms?
So there are 6 kids currently in the wild with our arms. We currently have a program that are 12 kids for Christmas. And so we're training teams of volunteers here at the University of Central Florida and really across the nation to build these arms for kids. And so this Christmas season, this holiday season, there should be 12 more kids in the wild walking around with these specialized, highly functional arms.
And do you intend on continuing to help strictly children, or branching out into helping everyone, or just focusing on kids for now?
There's a lot going on behind the scenes right now, and one of our biggest cares is for veterans, and so we have the Veterans Association here down in Medical City, and so we are looking forward to being able to help them when they come home from any type of war-type violence, or even just general adults as well, and so new things are in development all the time, and hopefully we can do that soon.
Are you wanting to catalog the types of prosthetics that you're building?
Absolutely. We have a goal that one day you'll go online and a child with their parent can look through a catalog and finds what really inspires them. Right. And that way we can move faster, they can have that equal amount of expression. But I'm pretty sure we'll always want to do some custom things depending on the case too.
If anyone's watching the show, Albert, and they want to donate to the effort, how do they do so?
So they can go to our mobile site, which is 3dhope.com, or our full site, limitless-solutions.org. There's a how to get involved section, there's a donate button, and we'd love to hear from them, so you can use our email through the website. If they have ideas of how to help or they know someone in need, that's what we're looking for.
What about even volunteers? Because I know you said almost everyone that is a volunteer is a student here at UCF. Can just anyone volunteer? Or?
Absolutely. We need people in every field, from photography, nursing, medical, engineering, social, and people who can tell the story too. So we're looking for everyone who wants to jump on board, and we really believe if every community can support the kids in need locally, together we're going to change the world.
Well, thank you.
Great work you do here.
Thank you very much.